These Takomo irons are all over the internet and YouTube. And why wouldn't they be? They are about a third of the price of comparable irons. The Miuras that I'm playing, these MC-501s, are about $1,800. And I'm gonna put these two head to head to see if the Takomos can keep up. These Takomos come all the way from Finland, and Finland isn't necessarily the first place that I think of when I'm thinking of forged golf irons. Overall, the Takomos look very good, they look very sleek. Before I test these on the course, I want to see how they perform on the Trackman. Let's go over to Modern Golf and we can see how these two test side by side. I just hit both pitching wedges. Now I'm gonna go over kind of the differences that I see on the Trackman. So why don't we start with the Miuras. My pitching wedge is normally like my 145 to 150 club, and that's confirmed in the Trackman data. I was averaging 147 carry, 149 total. This grouping looks really good to me. So I guess my shortest one was about 143 and my longest was about 151, 152, but a pretty decent gapping for a pitching wedge. Let's look at the Takomo. Takomo actually had a surprisingly super tight dispersion. You can see I have just one outlier, this one way over here, which is kind of throwing off my side total. Some things I'm noticing is that I lost a little bit of distance with the Takomo. So I was averaging total 149 with my Miura and 146. But overall, they're very similar in dispersion, similar in data. Let's try out those 8 irons. Okay, this is interesting. As we obviously get into the longer clubs, the dispersion should be a little bit bigger because we're less accurate, or I'm less accurate with my 8 iron than my pitching wedge. Looking at the Takomo, everything looks really good except this one outlier. I had one kind of just chunky runner, but that's typical for golf. But looking at the dispersion, everything just past 170, which again is normal. I'm anywhere from 172 to maybe 180 on the far side. So I was averaging 173 carry, 177 total with really good dispersion. This is interesting. Miura. Not nearly as good of dispersion. It was going further just by a couple yards, 3 yards difference, but the stats across the board are pretty close. Spin was just slightly higher on the Takomo. Ball speed was up a little bit on the Miura. I was hitting the Takomos just a little bit higher, but everything is within like 1 or 2 yards. Like it's very close. And looking at the dispersion, I had a way better session with the Takomo, which is really cool that these clubs that are a lot cheaper than Miuras are keeping up, if not outperforming them. The last test that I have is the 4 iron, so let's hit those and then I'll tell you how those compare. Onto the 4 irons, this is actually another very close head to head. I started with the Miura and I had a lot more shots right on the line. Right where you see this 220, there's that grouping of balls, 5 of them right on the line. When I go to the Takomo, I had maybe only 1 near the line, but the Takomo is extremely consistent. That's a shot shape that I can predict on the course, a high fade. Numbers wise, the Miura is still going just a little bit further. Carry was like 4 yards difference, total 4 yards difference. But looking at the club head speed, identical. Spin within 20 RPM. Ball speed, couple miles an hour. Everything was so close. That was really cool to see how close these clubs are on the Trackman, but the real test is right now when we go to the golf course. So how can these Takomos be so much cheaper than competing brands if the performance is relatively similar? It's a little business model called direct to consumer. They cut out the middleman. You cannot buy these golf clubs at Golf Galaxy, you can't get them at your local pro shop, and you cannot get fit for Takomos. The only way to buy these is from their website. The pro, of course, is the price. That's probably why everyone is looking at these, because they're so inexpensive. The cons are you can't hit them before you buy them unless you have a friend that has a set, and you have very limited options, especially for shafts. So these Takomos, I had to buy my own shafts. I didn't like the stock option that it came with, so I had to get my own shafts. Right there's another $200 upcharge, plus grips, plus ferrule. So already I'm at $850 for these irons versus the $650 on the website. So that's definitely a downside that you can't get fit for these irons. All right, we've tested these on the Trackman, and the last test I gotta do is right here on the course. I'm gonna hit 5 hits with the Takomo, followed by 5 hits with the Miura. I'm gonna be using Pro V1 balls, because that's the same ball that we used on the Trackman. So the first shot I'm gonna try is a pitching wedge. Let's try them out. Okay, first hit is with the Miura. Okay, then we'll go Takomo. It's playing like 153 right here, a little downwind. Almost jarred the first one. Get up there. Funnel, funnel, funnel. Did that go in? Okay, Takomo has some catching up to do after those two. Oh, so far feel-wise, they feel very comparable on the grass. Get up. Oh. I think the secret to getting it close, we saw in those first couple, is to ride that hill on the left side. Oh, it's too far left. It's my first big miss. First big miss was with the Takomo. Shoot! It's not over yet, but I think I'm gonna have to jar this Takomo one for them to win the first round with the pitching wedge. Oh, short. In that head-to-head, both ball flights looked very similar. The feel was very similar and they sounded very similar. So I'm still amazed how close these two are. Looking at the dispersion though, I think without question the Miura is winning this round. We have a bunch by the hole. The Takomo seemed to fall out of the air quicker. So I'll have to go up to the green and get the final count. I hit the green every time with the Miura and I missed it just one time with the Takomo. The three of these that I hit tight were all Miura. So black dot was Miura, black dot, black dot, black dot. These three were all Miura. The other one pin high was a Takomo, so I was able to get it in birdie range. And then this is where I've noticed the big drop off with the Takomos. All three of these is what I was mentioning back in the fairway. I've seen the ball fall quick. The three of these down here are Takomos. There was only one ball that missed the green, and this one was Takomo. The rest of them were pretty decent. I got this one pin high, this one just a little bit past the pin. In that head-to-head for the pitching wedge, I'm gonna give it to the Miura. Okay, first swing, Takomo. Peeler into the rough. Miura. That was a good one. Well, I recall doing that in the simulator. Far right. Through contact, I can feel the weight in the Takomo. It gets through the ball, but like in the simulator, I just left it out to the right a couple times. Oh, shitty one. Shitty. Something I thought would be fun with the 4-iron test is off the tee is see if I can hit one draw, one cut, and then I'll try to flight one. So I have 3 balls left. I'll do it both with the Takomo and the Miura. So we'll start with a draw. This is the Takomo. Okay, draw swing. Draw swing. That'll work. It did draw. I'm gonna keep the Takomo. I'll do all 3 with the Takomo. So this will be the cut with the Takomo. Here it comes. Okay, last one, we're gonna try to hit that flighted wind ball. Okay, on to the Miura. Oh, keep turning. Right in the bunker. Now the cut. And lastly, that low flighted one. Let's go tally those balls and see how many found the fairway. So we had 1 Takomo and 1 Miura, both at 251 total. In that 4-iron test, of the 5 Pro V1s for Takomo, only 2 of them found the fairway, where the Miuras, 4 out of 5 found the fairway. In that round, I have to give it again to the Miuras. For the 8-iron test, we're on a par 3. It's playing about 165, but it's straight into the wind. When you saw on Trackman, I was averaging anywhere from like 172 to 177 with my 8-iron. So I'm hoping I can get there. Granted, it's into the wind. We'll start with the Takomo. Whew, front of the green. So I am still gonna alternate. So now we're going Miura. A little better distance. Since the wind is picking up, I'm really gonna have to try to flight these. So this is a good test just to see how the Takomos and the Miuras are when I try to adjust the trajectory. Oh, it's better. That was the first one that I hit long, and it was with the Miura. I'll have to see if I can get the Takomo past the pin. The Miuras definitely go longer. Yeah. I can't get the Takomo back there. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. Oh, I tried to get really quick with that. Oh, I made it, just barely. In that 8-iron test, I went 4 for 5 with the Miuras, and I went 5 for 5 with the Takomos. The one that missed, which was the Miura, went just long, so I'm on the fringe by like a foot. This is Miura, that's Miura. Since I went 5 for 5 with Takomo, it has to win this 8-iron challenge. I was kind of anticipating those Takomos to suck, and I say that because of the price point. The perception was cheap clubs, average at best performance. And that's not what I found today. They kept up with my Miuras. I think I'm actually gonna put these in my bag for my vacation bag when I travel. I would love to hear what you guys thought of this head-to-head. Comment below, and we'll check in with you guys next time.